Welcome to a new live today. Today, as you can see, topic we need to talk about Vinicius Jr. Guys. All right, all right, all right. Hi, bro. What's up? What's up, Yusuf? As you can see in today's topic, we need to discuss about Vinicius Jr. This is a live that I was not planning to make. Good to see you, Yusuf. What's up, man? What is up, bro? Which team do you support, by the way? How are you doing? Hala Madrid tonight. Don't forget to come to my TikTok tonight. I'm going to do a live stream between Real Madrid and VfB Stuttgart. So that's an incredible match. And it's a match that you don't want to miss, bro. It's a match that you don't want to miss. So today's topic, it's about Vinicius Jr. Vinicius Jr., as you know, and as many of people know, has been a target of racism for many, months now. And he has been fighting this for a long time now since the incident Valencia back in the 2022-2023 season. And Vinicius Jr. has been increasingly been feeling alone at Real Madrid, and he has also been criticized by many Real Madrid legends, and this is not something that is good. And right now his mind is not at the right place. And there has been talks now about Vinicius Jr. that he has been feeling increasingly alone at Real Madrid, and he only believes like he has one ally in the club, and that is not something that is good, to be honest. It doesn't feel right, but that's how things are right now for Vinicius Jr., and things are not looking good for him. And I just read an article here from Football España something. What it said was that Real Madrid superstar Vinicius Jr. finished last season with the world at his feet, having scored in a second successive Champions League final in just 3 years. I mean, he made history. In just 3 years, he scored in a second consecutive Champions League. And a Ballon d'Or candidate, of course. But however, the conversation at Santiago Bernabeu surrounding the Brazilian has soared somewhat since then, and it is taking its toll on him. So what it says is that Vinicius Jr. has a bright future ahead of himself. He could be a potential Ballon d'Or winner. He has had an okay season, and of course he scored in two back-to-back not back-to-back finals, but he scored in two finals that he has been in 3 years, which is absolutely good for Vinicius Jr. But things are not looking good for him in Spain, to be honest. And then let's further read this article and let's see what it says. Vinicius was again the story on Saturday night at its celebration, quietening the Real Sociedad. Quietening the Real Sociedad crowd was again a talking point in the Madrid-based press. In particular, Real Madrid legend Petja Mijatovic criticized him. Yep. I'll get to your question. Who do you think is going to win the belt? I'll answer your question after I finish this. Petja Mijatovic criticized him. I think Vinicius Jr. is going to win the Ballon d'Or. That's what I think. Yeah, Vinicius Jr. will win the Ballon d'Or. Or Rodri, but I think it's Vinicius. But one thing that his article says right now, which is interesting, is that a Real Madrid legend named Petja Mijatovic criticized Vinicius Jr. and he has been frustrated with him. And as you can see, this man, Vinicius Jr., he already has problems, you know? He has already problems. I mean, some fans don't like this guy, and he's been a victim of racism. And now we're seeing delusional Real Madrid legends like this guy, Pedja, Mijatovic, just out of nowhere, just criticizing him for like he has no like specific reason to do that, and he's doing. And the reason he is criticizing him is because of his antagonistic streak. I mean, it does not make sense, to be honest, to criticize Vinicius Jr. like that. Okay, I know he's a player with a big ego, but he doesn't deserve this much hate for no reason. There must be some reason why everyone is against this guy. But then again, I don't see it. You know, just because he has a way of behaving does not mean that you need to criticize Vinicius Jr. just like that. You know, there are many players that I can name that have a massive ego. We have Kylian Mbappe. We have players like Erling Haaland. You know, we have Lionel Messi. We have Cristiano Ronaldo. These players are top players, big players with massive egos. And don't get me wrong, they do get criticized. But the way Vinicius Jr. has been treated is nothing compared. I mean, the way they have been treated, the way these players have been treated is nothing compared to how Vinicius Jr. has been treated. This man is getting people left and right criticizing him. Left and right. They are criticizing this guy. I really, really don't understand the reason why they chose to do that. And now let's go to the next story here. It says, according to a Cadena source, as shared by Diario AS, there are those within Real Madrid that feel that Vinicius Jr. must improve his conduct, having been given plenty of help. They're criticizing him because they're jealous and they know he'll conquer the world. Yes, yeah, you have a point, Yusuf. You have a point there. You have a point. But they can't talk about his football. You know, they can't talk about his football. The things that they are targeting is his behavior. They're trying to find a reason, an excuse to bring him down, and that's the bad part. Whenever you see a football player that is good, they always try to find a weakness or something bad to say about him. And let's be honest, Vinicius Jr. is not the most friendly guy. We have to be honest, okay? But so be it. There are many other people who are not the most friendly football players. We have many players I can name right now, and Vinicius Jr. is not the only one. So, what is the reason to actually to criticize him like this? I mean, these legends, if they get criticized like this, they would probably go home and cry or something like that. You know. Let's move on to the next story here. Okay, it says, according to Cadena SER, as shared by Diario AS, there are those within Real Madrid that feel Vinicius Jr. must improve his conduct, having been given plenty of help and patience by the club, and that it is now up to him to ensure that he's fully focused on football and nothing else. What is this? I mean, what is this? Can someone explain this? Focusing on football? This man has scored how many goals this season? He has scored like 4 goals in the La Liga. He has more goals than Kylian Mbappe. And now Real Madrid are telling him to focus on football. But what is he doing? He's doing his job. You know? He's scoring goals. I don't get this, man. I don't really, really, really get this. There is something wrong, and someone has something against this player. Okay, I'll go to the next one. Okay, more concerning is that Vinicius Jr. is reportedly feeling increasingly lonely at the club, feeling no longer the support he used to enjoy. Indeed, his camp now believes that he has only one ally at Real Madrid, and that is only Carlo Ancelotti. Yeah, Carlo Ancelotti. As we all know, that is true. Carlo Ancelotti has continuously, openly showed his support for Vinicius Jr., and he understands what he's going through. And Carlo Ancelotti knows the racism that this guy experiences. And he knows that there are many, many players who are actually against this guy, and many managers, especially including this guy Pedia Miljatovic. And if I go check his background, yeah, good reason, good reason. But he has been with his teammates, right? He knows them. He knows the players. True, true, true. He had an ally. He had Benzema before Benzema left. Yep, that's true. That's true. Makes sense. Chouameni is new. Camavinga is new. The only person he has who's not new is maybe like Danny Carvajal has been there. Danny Carvajal and Luka Modric, those two. The rest are new, to be honest. But then again, they're not showing support. But what I would advise Vinicius Jr., I'll give him advice after this live, but I would advise him to do. But let me finish this article first. You can ask me how many questions you want, Yusuf. You can ask me how many questions you want. Okay. It says that former Barcelona and Arsenal forward Thierry Henry used to regularly employ the same celebration without controversy. But it seems that any hint of controversy is now the headline of the late night radio conversations. Undoubtedly, Vinicius Jr. has a capacity to wind opponents and their fans up. But since the beginning of the season, and most notably since his interview declaring that Spain must improve their racism record or risk losing the 2030 World Cup, and the criticism aimed at Vinicius Jr. is coming from within the Spanish capital, which was not the case previously. Oh, that's a hard one. That's a tough one. So what we know is that Thierry Henry has done celebrations, and his celebrations were a hint of controversy, but they did not happen. And another thing that is more interesting that Vinicius Jr. tells is that if Spain don't improve their racism record, especially at the capital where Vinicius Jr. lives and where he plays for, they risk losing the 2030 World Cup. And that is a bold, big. That's a big statement. To be honest, that's a big statement. And if that happens, I mean, it would be very, very insane and mind blowing. I mean, it's not worth it for Spain to lose the 2030 World Cup. And then again, on the other hand, it's not worth it that Spain fans show some disrespect and some racist remarks against players like Vinicius Jr. just because of their skin color. It's not even fair for him. So I know they have a lot. Spanish fans have a lot to improve. To be honest, they have a lot to improve, and this is not something that I would like to talk about. To be honest, it's not my type of topic, but it's a topic that needs to be discussed. That's it. It's not my favorite topic, guys. So for you guys who are in this live, I just want to tell you that this is not my favorite topic. This is not something that I like to discuss. To be honest, that's the last thing that I like to discuss. But the problem is that these things, they need to be discussed because we have players like Vinicius Jr. who are experiencing this type of behavior, and yeah, it's not fair for him. It's not fair for him. Today, Vinicius Jr. is gonna play against Stuttgart, and he will probably perform. And I also predicted that Real Madrid will win 2-1, and I think he will also score goals during that game. That's my prediction. But then again, we never know how that match ends because Stuttgart is a tough team. But then again, guys, let's be honest. I thought we live in 2024. We don't need to have these racism. I think we were above that. I think we were above that. We don't need to have these racism discussions. That was before, back in the days. I understand. I think Barca have gotten stronger since signing Hansi Flick, but still, yeah, you are right. Barcelona have gotten stronger since signing Hansi Flick. Hansi Flick is a big manager. He won the treble with Bayern Munich. He knows what he's doing. He has a good strategy. The only thing that I'm skeptical about this guy is that last time he coached Germany, things did not go well. I mean, with the World Cup 2022 and the Euro 2021. Other than that, he's good. But let's see how he is with clubs. So far, as you said, Yusuf, Hansi Flick has created big Barcelona, tough Barcelona, much more hungrier, a much more stronger Barcelona, and we will get to see a lot of that this season. And of course, in a month and a half, Real Madrid are going to play against Barcelona, and that match is going to be a really, really exciting match. It's going to be an interesting match, and it's going to be a match that you don't want to miss. And hopefully, Jude Bellingham will be in that game. Yeah. So then back again to Vinicius Jr. Vinicius Jr. To be honest, that player is a Ballon d'Or nominee. He has everything it takes to be a star. He has showed it. He plays well. He's a top class player. He's a very, very good player. He's fairly rated. I'm not saying that he's overrated or underrated. He is rated fairly. And he is actually performing the way he is expected to perform. And that makes him a top star. Yep. So yes, that makes him a top star. And Barcelona, Yusuf, I just want to tell you that Barcelona, they need to fear Vinicius Jr. They really, really, really need to fear Vinicius Jr. Because when Vinicius Jr. comes, Barcelona, they better watch out. They better watch out. I can read another article that came like yesterday night, and it says no one could put up with it. Carlo Ancelotti is in defense of Real Madrid star Vinicius Jr. over shush gesture. Carlo Ancelotti leaps to defense over Real Madrid star Vinicius Jr. over shush gesture. That's the gesture that Vinicius Jr. does when he scores a goal. Shush. Okay, Real Madrid boss Carlo Ancelotti defended Vinicius Jr.'s shush gesture against Real Sociedad amid criticism. So Vinicius Jr., as you guys know, scored a penalty against Real Sociedad back in Saturday, and he made a shush gesture. And Vinicius Jr. was heavily, heavily criticized by fans, as usual, for everything he has done. He hasn't done anything. He only shushed the fans. Okay, you can argue that Vinicius Jr.'s actions could be disrespectful towards fans if you look at their perspective. But then again, if he does that, do you really need to discriminate him just like that and do some racist remarks against him just because he shushed the fans? I'm not saying that just because he did this to the fans that he's good and he's right for it. There are other ways they could have solved the issue, these fans. But then again, they started with the racist jokes and things like that, and they made fun of him and insulted Vinicius Jr., which is absolutely wrong. But then again, I'm not saying that Vinicius Jr. was right for doing what he did. Okay. Okay, let's move on to what happened. Vinicius Jr. and Kylian Mbappe were target for Real Madrid as they beat Real Sociedad 2-0 in the La Liga game on Saturday. The Brazilian netted his second goal of the ongoing season as he broke the deadlock in the 58th minute. Okay, sorry, he scored his second goal. Okay, so I said it in the beginning of this live, I said he scored 4 goals, but I was wrong. He has only scored 2 goals. Okay, 2 goals. I made a wrong count there. Okay, he netted his second goal of the ongoing season, and he broke the deadlock in the 58th minute from the penalty spot. Despite staring for Los Blancos in their victory, the winger received heavy criticism for his celebration as he was seen running towards the corner and doing a shush gesture in an attempt to silence the home crowd. Really, really bad. Okay, let's move on there. Things are really, really bad from here on. Okay, the picture. Amid widespread disapproval of his celebration, Real Madrid manager Carlo Ancelotti came into the players' defense as the Italian felt that the attacker's action was prompted by this treatment and that was meted out to him by the Real Sociedad fans, the home fans, try to get under his skin, the player from the early stage of the match, and whistles echoed around the stadium. And what Carlo Ancelotti said was that defending his player in front of the press, Ancelotti said, it's the reaction of a very ugly action, insults. Nobody could stand it. I couldn't either. The gesture of putting one's hand to one's mouth is normal, given everything that is happening. So Carlo Ancelotti actually defended Vinicius Jr.'s gesture by saying that it is normal. Yes. Oh my goodness. What is going on here? I'm getting disturbed, guys. But let's move on. Okay, what's next for Real Madrid? The reigning Spanish European champions will be next seen in action tonight against Stuttgart in the Champions League 2024-2025 campaign. So that's tonight. And I'll also do a match reaction after the game. And I'll see you guys after the match between Real Madrid and VfB Stuttgart tonight. And I'll do the live stream on TikTok. And if you haven't followed me on TikTok, you can follow me on TikTok, hashtag football touchdown talk. And you will be able to watch the live watch along on TikTok between Real Madrid and VfB Stuttgart. And of course, if you enjoy my content, you're always free to notify whenever I upload a brand new video. And of course, you are free to subscribe to Football Touchdown Talk. And I'll see you tonight in another live stream. And I'll see you. Bye bye.